morning. We hope you guys are feeling good, looking good, and all of the things. It's Judea Hartley here, and y'all know we would not be the AM show if we didn't deliver, right? So at the top of the show, we tease that we have a flat-out fantastic guest. And guess what, my brothers and sisters? She is here live in the studio with us. So wherever you are, I want you to stand to your feet, infuse that enthusiasm, and show your love for fashion designer and my good friend, Miss Imani Desrameaux.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. I am so thrilled that you have agreed to come and be a guest on the AM show. You guys, I had the privilege of meeting Imani at a networking event, and it was hosted by the New Museum. And we really just hit it off from there.
We did.
I mean, the vibes were there, the energy was there. We were able to provide each other insight, and relationships are so huge for me. So I'm so thankful.
Well,
I'm so thankful that
so happy to be here.
Yes, fantastic. And y'all, let's get into this fit, honey. Do you see this fit? It's giving Black Barbie doll, and I'm here for it. Absolutely. So I know you to be an incredible visionary fashion designer. Like, you were fly, honey, when I met you a couple of weeks ago. And I mean, the swag and the ladylikeness, I mean, the beauty is evident now. I'm curious, take us all the way back, Imani, to the genesis of your journey. You are a fashion designer. You have your own fashion line entitled the Madonna Label. When did you realize you had a passion for fashion?
Very early on. I mean, I picked up a sewing machine in high school. My dad bought me my first sewing machine in high school. And I used to customize. Back then, American Apparel was a thing. You remember American Apparel?
Oh, absolutely, girl. Oh, yeah.
Yes. So they sold wholesale pieces, and my friend and I, we used to customize them. And we used to sell them in the streets of Soho.
Huh.
Yes. Back in the days before Shopify, there was Big Cartel.
Oh, yeah. I remember Big Cartel. Oh, you're taking me back.
Right. So I'm an OG. I started out vending on the streets of Soho.
Wow.
And then, you know, like anything else, it's time for advancement.
Yeah.
Once we reached our peak, we were like, you know what, why don't we start just with dresses and basic designs? And then it kind of evolved into everything that it is now. We ultimately ended up going our separate ways, but then I founded the Madonna Label in 2016.
Yeah.
My studio was not too far from here in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. And then I have an online website, and it just kind of keeps evolving as time passes, but it's been amazing. So this has been ingrained in me from a very early age. Very early age.
How so? You said ingrained in you. How so? Who served as that inspiration?
So it's just linear down the family line. I mean, my great-grandmother to my grandmother to my mom, who's here with us today, all models, right? And then my dad worked in the garment district for a lot of years. So he introduced me to a lot of designers, Eli Tahari, DVF, things of that nature, very early on, 13, 14, growing up with labels, right? And not coming from privilege, but like being exposed to all of these fashion houses and fashion designers. Learning about fabrics and textures and how to determine whether a fabric is dry rot, and all of these things were introduced to me by him. So, I mean, it's just something that I always grew up knowing that I wanted to do and be a part of. At first, I thought I wanted to be an attorney, but
you would have been a fly one,
right?
I'm just saying, you better always be a pulpit, right? I'm just saying, go ahead.
And to your point, I always wanted to design my own suits for the courtroom, so it was always there. Yep. And
I love that. And it's just, when you talk about, you mentioned to me earlier, I know you have your own label, the Madonna Label, and of course we're going to get into the details of that. But it sounds like what you do takes a lot of work. Now, I know that you are the visionary behind it. I know that you design the actual dresses or suits or what have you. But who actually does the sewing? Talk to me about your team a little bit. Who helps you bring this magic to life?
So I create the original samples because I do sew. Not all fashion designers do, but I do sew. And then I have a production company who will make my inventory for me. So we'll work on the samples together, we'll adjust the patterns, and then when it's ready to go into production, I have a production company that puts out my inventory, whatever quantities that I need for whatever it is that I'm doing.
Got it.
Yeah.
No, I love that. And I asked that because so many people, Imani, have like a fashion design business or a lip scrub. That's what I'm working on right now. And a lip scrub business, a lip gloss business. And you can curate the recipe for it. This is what I want. This is my recipe. This is my design. But it is mass production. Mass production is needed if you want to sell a lot. If you want to sell a magnitude of product, a lot of product to people, you want to expand your visibility, reach your demographics, then you do need mass production. So I'm so glad that you added that element in there. Now, girl, I love to shop. I love it. I love when somebody pays for the clothes for me.
That's right.
I'm just saying, let me rack up and take out your credit card. I'm just saying, but because I love to shop, I never really considered myself a fashionista. I like cute clothes. Like, this is bad right here.
Thank you.
You're killing us right here. I love beautiful outfits, but I don't have the eye to actually design something different. My mother, you know, more so has that than I do. So with that being said, take us into your process in regards to creating a brand new design from scratch, because that sounds like a lot of time and intentionality.
It is very intentional, and I see it long before it ever comes to fruition. Like I envision it seasons out, right? And then when the moment is right, I'm like, okay, this is what I want to pull from and draw from. I always tell people, take A to your right hand, because if you have ideas here and you don't write them down, you will forget. So I have a journal that keeps so many ideas of things that I'm inspired by that I would like to try. But when it comes to deadlines, for example, if I know that I'm going to be in Fashion Week and I need to design a collection, right? Because I typically work on my own calendar. I don't really follow the fashion calendar. But if I'm working towards something, I know that it's time to start creating. I will just kind of draw from inspiration that's around me. So whether that's a song that I'm feeling, a vibe that I'm feeling, and then I design a collection that aligns with that vibe. So I'll give you an example. 2 years ago during the Madonna tour, there's this song called Reroute. And it's by Roddy Ricch, I think his name is. So
I can't.
Right. No, it's not by Roddy Ricch. No.
Okay, here I am, getting ready to go in.
But y'all Google it. Reroute. But anyway, the song was about, it was his first song after he came out of jail. And it was about how he had to turn his life around. But the song has a great beat. It has a great message, right? And I designed a whole collection based around the song. So I envisioned models walking down to the song and then design clothes from that vision. Like, and did not shy away from that. From start to finish. And up until that show, I think I must have played that song about 50,000 times.
Wow.
To make sure that everything that I was designing matched the vision that I had in my head when I first heard it and first thought of it, right? So, I mean, it can be something as off the wall as that to me just being inspired by someone that I see on the street and I'm like, I see how that could be a collection. Let me start sketching it. Let me start writing ideas down. So I pull from all types of inspiration. It could be music. You know, I work at the museum, right? So it could be art. It could be basic street style. I get inspired by people's style that necessarily is not my own personal taste, but there's something that I find intriguing about it that I can pull from and match the aesthetic of my brand.
Oh, wait a minute. I love it. As you were speaking, you know the word that came to my head? Creative. You know, Imani, you are that. Because I'm that. So a creative recognizes another creative. And just because, this is what I've learned as well, just because someone can be skilled in an area, it doesn't make them a creative. Because a creative gets enjoyment out of actually curating something original, curating something from scratch. A creative mind is difficult to understand, honey.
It is.
Because 55 ideas hit our brain at the same time. And we are trying to sort through that. And I don't feel like telling you all of my visions and ideas because a prying eye will pollute my process. So I don't want you to project your negativity just because you can't see the vision.
hard.
You just can't see it.
That's right.
You just can't see it, but I can.
And it wasn't for you to see.
It wasn't for you to see. That's the good thing. So when I think of creative, you're so right. I think of so many elements, so many exterior or interior elements that serve unintentionally as inspiration.
Absolutely.
Like when I think, like when I'm trying to write a song, or because I sing, or when I'm trying to come up with a new business idea, Imani, you're right. I'll hear the melody and then I'll get the words. It's out of order, and I don't apologize for it. It's a weird process.
It is.
It's a weird process.
It is, but it works.
But it works. The melody, the words, then I'll get the visual, the aesthetic. Okay, this is what I want the short film to look like, right? Because this is what's in my brain. So I love that. I love that. You talk about the Madonna label. First of all, absolutely love that title.
Thank you.
How'd that come about?
So people often think that I'm talking about Madonna the singer, but I'm actually talking about the Virgin Mary, right? So this woman is a virtuous woman. She is the standard for which other women should follow. So that's why I named it the Madonna label.
Oh my gosh! Wait, hold on! Wait, no, I love that. This is why I ask people, like, okay, why did you choose? Because I love it. I'm just asking, why did you choose those colors? Or why did you choose that outfit? Why did you choose a downbeat versus an upbeat for the bridge or for the chorus of that song? Why did you choose the name of the business? Because it tells a story.
It does.
And that story, that narrative, Imani, is perpetuated throughout your entire designing process. Now, you mentioned Fashion Week. You mentioned Fashion Week. Tell me about your involvement with that, or your vision connected to that. How has Fashion Week inspired you?
Yeah, so I've been in Fashion Week a few times. It has inspired me to create the Madonna Tour. And that is a 3-day fashion presentation for Black and brown designers, right? To really showcase their collections in a way that is upscale. And where that stemmed from is, like I said, I had been in Fashion Week a few times, and I've been under some other brands who have put on productions. And I just really didn't have the best experience. I felt that once I paid all of this money, right? They were kind of finished holding my hand, right? So we didn't really know what to expect until the day we showed up. So I really saw room for improvement in that whole process of doing a production of this scale. And I was like, I think I can do that.
Wait, go deeper into that. Walk me through that, because so many times we as Black, I'm gonna be honest, why not? We as Black and brown women, we don't have the best experiences professionally. We don't. We always have to fight for something, or we always have to figure it out on our own, or we always gotta be better just to be equal. Like, we don't always have the best experiences. So clarify that for me a little bit. Tell me in what ways they could have exhibited improvement. What ways?
So there's so much that goes into a fashion production, right? You have to figure out your model casting, you have to figure out hair and makeup, you have to figure out lighting, you have to figure out audio. It's a production similar to this one, right? So I had worked with a company, which I won't name, but I paid a hefty sum of money to be a part of their Fashion Week presentation. And they promised mentorship. This was earlier on in my career. They promised, models that fit my requirements, because each brand has a different look, right? So you can't use the same model, right? The same model for Louis Vuitton is not going to walk in Balenciaga. Those are two different aesthetics, right? So they promised a customized experience when it came to model recruitment or model casting. They promised a upscale production, so upscale venue, behind the stage, behind the scenes was going to be manageable. You would have an assistant, you would have someone who kind of worked with your makeup and your hair, and then customize that for you to fit your collection, right? And that just wasn't what they delivered on, right? So we paid well over $1,000 to be a part of this production. I would say almost $2,000, just shy of $2,000. And it was supposed to be all encompassing. We didn't hear from these individuals up until about showtime. Maybe a week or two before the show. I got there. My models were the wrong sizes for my samples.
Oh, no.
The hair and makeup was standard, right? So that means if you were avant-garde or if you were couture, you had the same hair and makeup, right? Wow. So I really looked at that experience. And then I said, you know what? Listen, maybe I didn't do enough research. So I tried a different company the following year or the year after, and I had a very similar experience. So I said, I don't feel like I am a person who I feel is a little bit more privileged and in more of a position to kind of launch my own show. But what about the people who have no idea about how to put on a fashion production? All they know is design.
Yeah.
Who advocates for them if they want to bring their designs to a larger audience? So I just saw that there was areas for improvement, and I felt like I could bring that to the table, and that's how the Madonna tour came about.
See, I asked you to give me specifics regarding that story because I wanted to shine a light on that. Imani, I always say this. So many people don't realize that you guys, you're not just buying a brand, right? You're not just getting into or you're getting to be a part of a brand. No, like for an example, let me give you an example. I bake cookies. Girl, we don't care about them cookies. People buy you.
Right.
People buy you.
Right.
They actually buy the person. We love your hair. We love your earrings. This suit, honey, is banging. I feel like I can fix the White House in this suit. But and all of that is great and necessary. Right. But people essentially, the bottom line at the core, they buy you.
Very true.
And that's why it is imperative, right? You gotta be cognitive of that. Cognizant of that, rather. It's imperative for you to move with integrity.
Absolutely.
Seriously. And so many people don't know that, oh, I'm just good at this. No, honey, it's not just good enough for you just to be good at that. You actually have to be kind.
Right.
And you actually have to deliver on your word.
Right.
And you actually have to express gratitude. Come on, dip into to a little bit of corporate social responsibility. How do you give back?
Right.
All of those things matter. And it sort of creates this episodic, continual relationship. And that's how you further that. I love that you mentioned that. And also, oftentimes, we think that we have to pay someone else or another company. Absolutely, pay someone else or pay another company to do what we can. To do what we can. Okay, well, let me just get in training for a couple of weeks or a couple of months or what have you, and then I can actually put this on myself and give people a more accurate, integral, intimate experience.
And that's exactly what I did.
And that's what you did, which provides insight. I love that. You guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but don't you go anywhere. We want your face to be in the place, honey, because when we return, Imani is going to tell us a little bit more about the Madonna Label and about how the Madonna Label actually engages in charitable events. You have one coming up January 2025. She's going to give us all the details on that, on how the label gives back, and so much more. Y'all, you are watching The AM Show. We will be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the AM Show. There she is up on the screen, our very special, very talented, very beautiful guest today. Would you show your love? Welcome back to the show, my good friend, Miss Imani Desrameaux.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, girl. So if y'all are just now tuning in, it's a little bittersweet because you missed the first part of the magic, but you are with us for the second half, and right before the commercial break, Imani, my girl, you were breaking down how you didn't have the best experience during some fashion productions. You took notes. Grateful for the opportunity, but you took notes, and not only did you take those notes, you took those notes and you applied them to your own fashion production, which is the Madonna Label Tour, which is that 3-day fashion extravaganza, as I like to say. So you really were dipping into some of the gaps, basically, that you've experienced. Tell me how the Madonna Label Tour really patched up those gaps. Like when you took that experience where, okay, this is what I'm not going to do when I get the opportunity to head my own production. What did you do differently?
Well, the first thing was quality, right? So I wanted to make sure from the venue to the makeup artist that we used to the hair team that we used, all aspects of the production were on a higher scale, higher end, right? Because although these are seemingly underground designers, we really wanted to give them a platform that was of quality, especially because they are paying for it, right? They're paying for that. And that was the biggest thing that I saw that was missing from the productions that I had participated in. They just weren't of a certain scale, right? The other thing that we wanted to do was give folks an opportunity to make some money back, right? You have pitched in towards this production, but we want to give you an opportunity to put your stuff at the forefront and for folks to pick it up and to purchase it, to get rid of some of that old inventory that you have. So the 3-day breakdown is day 1 is a pop-up shop. So all of the designers that participate in the fashion show have a pop-up the day before the fashion presentation and sell all of their inventory, whether it be current, whether it be old, whether it be surplus, whatever. We give an opportunity for the designers to get some money back in their pocket.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay.
And then day 2 is the fashion presentation of quality, hair and makeup, models included, but the designers are a part of that process, right? So we'll cast all models for everyone, but then the designers get to pick which models they would like, which models best fit their aesthetic of their brands. And then everything I said is done upscale. We vet these people. We don't just take on volunteers and, well, you know, it's free. So no, we vet the makeup artists, we vet the hairstylists, we interview them, we lay down our expectations of professionalism. So it's just an easy, seamless process for the designers who choose to participate.
Ooh, yes.
And then the third day is usually some type of luncheon or brunch, but this is where we get inspired, right?
Yeah.
We had a great day 1, we had a great day 2. If you're new to this, we bring people who are a little bit more seasoned to talk on a panel, do some Q&A, and really give an opportunity for people to be inspired and to network. So that's day 3, and that's how we close it out. So from start to finish, it's just more robust, it's more detailed. We really wanted to make this an experience that people can remember, and also for them to come back and join us the next year. We have returning designers all the time. So our focus was to really make it a quality experience that people can get a lot out of. Money, inspiration, and experience of showing their presentations.
Boss and CEO here. I'm telling you. Okay, so girl, I gotta ask you on a lighter note. How many pairs of shoes do you have? Because I need to raid your closet. No, I just want her to know. If she see a few things missing, I want you to know it was me. It was me, girl.
I stopped counting.
I'm sure.
Yes, but I love shoes.
Yes,
the shoes. One of my favorites. Yes.
Yeah, the shoes.
And I'm a heel wearer. You will very rarely see me in flats.
Really?
Fun fact, yes.
Me too, girl. Look, right? Yeah, I'm right. I'm a heel wearer too.
I'm a heel wearer.
Wow.
Yes. So like on the train, back and forth to work, you will catch me in heels.
Seriously?
Yeah. Like old school, like Sex and the City, Carrie Bradshaw type. Yeah.
Wow. See, I'm more like Jada and Set It Off. I'm more like that. Like, I am a girly girl. My favorite, everybody would tell you hair. My favorite color is pink, and I am a girly girl. But it's like, Imani, I am in heels a lot for church.
Okay.
I sing in them, I preach in them. So when I could get me a good little cute flat, come to mama. Come to mama. I love that. Okay, so with that being said, I do want to divert a little bit because what I love, I have to be honest, what I love is that you're so dedicated to shining a light, right, on Black and brown designers, getting their art the visibility that it deserves. What type of treatment do Black and brown designers face in the fashion industry that you've witnessed?
I think that, so this is like a very specific question. It's like multifaceted. But one of the things that is a challenge for Black and brown designers is resources, right?
Wow.
So, of course, monetary funding, but baseline, before you can even get to the point of mass production, right? It's just understanding the business of fashion. A lot of times folks are creative, but they really don't know how to monetize their creativity, right? So that's what kind of sets us back a little bit, especially in the Black and brown community, because this is not something necessarily that has been passed down to us throughout the generations. So one thing that I would always recommend for anybody who is creative and has a good product, design, or whatever, is to really research every facet of your business. Because when you go out there, people are just going to be looking to make money off of you. You have to have enough tools in your pocket to be able to discern and say, okay, you're overcharging me. I can do this better somewhere else. I don't need to do this. I can maybe skip around that part to get and still get to the same end goal. So it really requires you as a creative stepping away from your creativity for a moment and doing your research on the business side. And that is the detriment, unfortunately, with a lot of Black and brown designers, because they just feel like, well, I have a great product, it should sell. But they don't understand margins. They don't understand platforms, which platform to use. Should I use Shopify versus something else? They haven't done the research. And even before you get there, what are the best fabrics to use for your samples? I did a fashion show for a university not too long ago, and there was a young lady who was an aspiring fashion designer, and she did a great collection.
Yeah.
But she didn't know that all of the items should not have been in that fabric. That fabric was not made for what she was trying to create. So of course I told her, and of course I had a teaching moment. But she would have known that if she did a little bit more research, right? And unfortunately, you know, the fashion industry is still very white male dominated, right?
Yeah.
So you have to, if you don't have a mentor, if you're not blessed enough to have a mentor, you have to do that research on your own and really make sure that you have a step-by-step guideline and workflow to get you to an endpoint before you start investing money that you don't really have, right? So funds are gonna be limited. You don't wanna waste them on wrong fabric choices, poor production companies, things of that nature.
Wow. Okay, wait. So you mentioned getting monetized because, you know, there's so many ways, especially on social media, that you can make money.
Absolutely.
You can really like retire as an incredible YouTuber.
Yep.
You really, really
There's
can.
money out here.
There's money. You can retire from your day job, honey,
and
become like a YouTuber.
Yep.
It's on YouTube. It's on Instagram. It's on TikTok.
Yep.
So with your experience in your field, your industry, being a fashion designer, how do you get monetized? How does that happen?
So again, because I started out so early, this was before social media was what it was.
Got it.
I had a lot of clients that were just from word of mouth. I'm telling you, the power of word of mouth is a real thing.
That's old school PR.
I tell
people that's old school PR.
Right.
It works.
Right, it really does work. And actually, the last Madonna tour I had was when Instagram shut down. Do you remember that?
I do.
I was just like, I kept thinking to myself, thank God that I make real interpersonal connections. And don't solely rely on social media. And I think a lot of aspiring designers and businesses, entrepreneurs, should really get back to the old school interpersonal marketing and networking. Because God forbid social media does not exist tomorrow, a lot of people would be out of their livelihood.
A job, right? And you don't know these people personally, many of them.
Many people would. So all that to say, I feel like, you know, how I was able to monetize was really by word of mouth. I do custom work too. So in addition to the collections, I do custom work. I've done women from prom all the way up to their wedding dress. You know what I mean? So it's about consistency. It's about delivering quality at each and every interaction. And then those people tell people, and those people tell people. I have referral programs. I have referral programs. So I network with people who are in my circle. I collab with people. So might say, Judea, if you know, are making cookies for anyone who's doing events, send them my way for a dress. So on and so forth. You know,
that's how you do that.
A lot of, you know, each one teach one kind of thing. And then I refer people to you. So this has been how I've been able to maintain my client base in terms of custom designs. But then in terms of social media and online presence, I'm blessed enough to have some serious influencers who have been attracted to my designs. So they have significantly larger platforms than I do. And as soon as they share it on their platforms, my platform starts to grow. So, you know, one of the things that I think that has been really crucial for me in my growth was that I blew up relatively quickly. A lot of things went viral very quickly, and it went viral with influencers and models who girls are looking up to, who they find beautiful and aspirational. They were like, oh my God, I love that dress. Who made it? And then all of a sudden, you know, my platform was growing. So I think that that is a large piece of how I was able to get my designs out there. And I would say the same thing to any fashion designer. If you can find influencers who are really willing to model your clothing for you, and at that time you didn't even have to pay them. They were just willing to do it for like a free outfit. But if you can find someone who you really feel models your brand in the way that you want it to be seen, it is worth the investment for sure. Because those are images and content that you can use for years. I've used some of the content from 5 years collections ago up to now to sell myself and to promote myself. So yeah, that's how I was able to monetize. But for each designer, it's different. You know, I just really do believe in interpersonal connections and networking. You know that Black and brown businesses are, you know, scrutinized a lot, right? And held to higher standards, even though we don't have as high resources as our competitors.
That's right.
So
accessibility.
Or accessibility. So you want to make sure that every interaction, every opportunity that you have to sell yourself, you do it with the utmost. So that this way you leave people wanting to come back to you.
I love that. And speaking of leaving people wanting to come back to you, relationships, you're huge on relationships, and that's what I love and respect.
Yes.
Talk to me about the Madonna Label Cares,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That's relationships. That's giving back. That's doing what matters. So what does the Madonna Label Cares do for the community?
So the Madonna Label Cares started maybe in 2019, right before the pandemic. I had a personal tragedy that really propelled me to want to give back because I was just at such a low point, and I always tell myself that somebody always has it worse than you do, right? Somebody is looking at your life and saying, man, I wish, while you're over here soaking and in misery.
It's true.
So I felt like this would be an opportunity for me to give back and kind of feel better about myself while making other people feel good as well. So the first charity that the Madonna Label Cares did was we fed 100 people for Thanksgiving, right? Because that's something that's always been near and dear to me that I thought about growing up. It's like holidays, that time period must really hurt for people who don't have family, who don't have income, and are just going through it. So we fed 100 people for Thanksgiving. We made home-cooked meals. This was right around COVID, so it was really needed. A lot of the shelters were closed. A lot of the shelters were too full. So we were able to give back to 100 families and feed folks for Thanksgiving. And then we did 100 toys for underprivileged kids the following year. A lot of people lost their jobs during COVID. They were furloughed, they were let go, whatever happened. It was just not a great time for the country. So we wanted to do something for the kids as well. Kids don't understand. I have 3 children, kids don't understand.
Where? Hold on, where? 3 children, where? No, you don't.
I have 3 kids. 3 beautiful children.
Oh my goodness! You don't look like it at all.
Well, thank you. I'll take it. I feel like it most days, so at least I don't have to look like it.
I have 2 children.
Oh my God! You don't look like it.
No, girl, I don't have. 2
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
And I look like it.
No, you don't. I was just gonna say you don't look like you have 2 kids. You have so much energy, bubbly.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, so tell me about the toys. Give it because I love kids.
Yes.
Giving back.
So we actually probably got over 100, but our goal was to have 100 toys for children on Christmas. And we worked with St. Vincent de Paul Parish, which is in Elmont, New York. And we coordinated with them because they have a large community of underprivileged children and families that just needed help during Christmas. So I called them up and I said, I would really like to offer this. And they were like, are you sure? And I was like, yes, I would love to do it. So that was another charity that we did about 2 years now. Yeah, the second wave of COVID.
Wow, I love this. You just incredibly talented, very, very articulate, just smart, very passionate about your work, and you give back. And you give back, Imani. And it's really, you see, now she propelled me, Mama, because it's been on my to-do list for months. The Lord put it on my heart to create care packages for women in shelters. And it's, toiletries, just things that they need because the summer is over and the winter is coming up. A little bit of a harsher season. People get cold, they need things. So I love hearing where people give back, when people give back. So I know I have to let you go in just a moment, but I have to ask you. So I want to play like 30 seconds of let's get dressed. Okay. Let's get dressed.
Let's do it.
All right, girl. It's date night.
Yes.
What am I putting on?
You're putting on whatever you feel you're most confident in.
Ooh.
And that is different for every person.
Ooh, I wasn't expecting that. Really?
Yes.
Okay, I love that. Okay, I have this important interview. This is my first big girl job. What am I putting on?
You are going classic professional.
Okay.
We're not doing any of this Gen Z nonsense. We're going to go classic professional. And then if that institution has a slightly more casual dress code, they'll let you know. And then going forward, you can kind of adapt and adjust.
Ooh.
But initially, you want to go and put your best foot forward. So whether that be a suit or a blouse and a pencil skirt, but you want to do classic professional on interviews.
Okay, I'm going to church, girl. It is Sunday. What am I putting on?
Oh, Sunday. Well, you know, we want to be modest for the Lord, but I think anything that you wear should definitely show your true style. So whatever colors that you like to wear, bold prints, vibrant. You know, church, I usually like to do pastels because I think of Easter, right? But yeah, I think overall, whatever you put on, you have to be confident.
Oh my God,
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Everybody show your love for my girl, Miss Imani Desrameaux. Yes, girl, fantastic, flat out fantastic. I'm so grateful.
Yes, I'm so
Thank
grateful.
you so much.
All
I am
right.
so grateful
You're
for this
very
connection
welcome.
and for this brand new sisterhood that I am going to continue to steward because you have so many great things to offer. A woman full of quality and the fabrics to match.
Thank you.
The fabrics to match, honey. Before we let you go, tell our family essentially where they can find you at on socials.
Yes, so the brand is at the Madonna Label. I actually have a page for every facet, but the brand is at the Madonna Label. And as you know, we didn't get into that, but I'm also the head of people and culture for the new Museum of Contemporary Art. So if you want to learn a little bit about style, but also want to learn a little HR, like how to land your dream job, it's at the Fashion HR.
Ooh, wait.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hold on. 2 seconds. Tell me what I meant that, mama. Hold on. Tell me what you do at the new Museum of Contemporary Art as the head of people. Tell me.
So the head of people, I mean, a corporate title would be like the director of human resources or like a VP of HR. But essentially what we're stepping into is not saying human resources and people operations. So it's head of people. And I do that in the Museum of Contemporary Art, which is on the Lower East Side.
Yes. So I love that. I just want to be like a little fly on the wall and see what your day-to-day is like. Day-to-day, is it crazy?
It is, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And we were just talking about interpersonal connections, and that's essentially what I do just for a larger institution is managing people, managing, you know, I'm like the bridge between the leaders and the employees and getting us an alignment for the company's vision. But a lot of it is just people management and, you know, building trust of the people that report into you. Making sure that we hold our leadership accountable, that they're ethical, right? And that we're doing things in an equitable manner. So, I mean, I love it. It's very purposeful and fulfilling. And then because, you know, of all the fashion stuff, I am right in the heart of the Lower East Side. So right back to my start point, right? Full circle, right around the corner from Soho. And then I just get to interact daily with people who have so much style.
I love it.
And are creative.
I love it.
One of the things that I really love about the new museum is that almost everyone that works there has their own business or is a creative in some facet.
See, I love being around community like that because it's like I get you, you get me, we get each other.
Exactly.
Like, I love it. I love being around people like that.
Yeah, great place to work.
Because creatives around non-creatives, like, hey, y'all, we appreciate the non-creatives too. No, we really do, honey.
We do.
We appreciate the non-creatives too.
Right.
But it's so hard to explain yourself. I don't feel like explaining myself and who I am and how I am, because you don't get it. I don't feel like explaining that. Well, a good HR representative is like a good therapist, in my opinion.
It is.
It's like a good professional therapist.
It is.
So I know that you are serving as a massive agent of change. One more time, everybody. Show your love for Miss Imani Desrameaux. All right, everybody, we're going to head on over to a quick commercial break. But you guys, we have so much more of the AM show when we return. During the commercial break, I'm going to try to steal Imani's shoes. Let's see how that, I'm just saying, let's see how that works. Let's see if I can grab a little bit more swagger during these messages, but stay tuned. We will be right back after this.